Welcome to Tom's Cubes and Games, and I'm going to show you how you can check your screen panel resolution using RetroArch. Okay, so it's not as difficult as I'm making it look. It's a lot easier than I'm making it look. We've got the main menu, and all we'll use from the main menu is configuration file and save current configuration and quit. That's all we're going to use from the main menu. And we're going to do our stuff by going to settings, and we're going to change the user interface menu option to RGUI. Then when we've done that, we have to save our configuration and quit, and we'll come back to the menu, we'll come back to settings, and then we'll go to video settings, scaling, aspect ratio, custom, and then we can look in real time what our screen panel resolution is. When we're all done, we'll be sure to leave the aspect ratio as core provided, so we don't mess anything up when we're playing games afterwards. And we'll remember to save and quit, so we leave it core provided when we're done. And just in case someone's wondering about the quick menu, we won't be using the quick menu today. Now there is a configuration file save on that quick menu, which is not the one we want, and we won't be using the quick menu at all. The quick menu is only visible from when you're playing a game. We won't be currently playing a game when we're using RetroArch menu, so we won't even see quick menu. And I'll quickly show you the different menu types so you know how to navigate them all. Alright. I'll start showing you on the RGB 30 here. So we have our main menu, and as I said, we won't be using the quick menu. So from this main menu, we're still on main menu, and we'll be using configuration file, and save current configuration, and we'll be using quit, still off the main menu there. On the settings menu, we'll first go to, so we're on settings menu, we'll go to user interface, and we're going to change menu. It's currently on Ozone. Then we'll go to video, scaling, and then we're going to come down to aspect ratio, and then we're going to end up coming to custom, and then we'll be able to see what our screen resolution is in real time. But I'm in RetroArch menu from the game, and that's why there's quick menus available. So we don't want to be in the quick menu, we don't want to be in the middle of a game. So we'll go to main menu, and at the very bottom we're going to quit. So we're not in RetroArch menu from the game. What we want to do is just start RetroArch-64 by itself. Now I've got it under Tools. I've got Start 64-bit RetroArch. Some of you may find RetroArch on your device is somewhere else. And sometimes it's on a top level menu on the Start or Select button, and some systems have it on under Quit. And see, options on this device, on this operating system, are I can restart emulation station, or shut down, or restart. Sometimes there'll be restart in RetroArch. So if you, that's on some devices. Anyway, so on this device it's under My Tools. So I'm gonna go to Settings, Video. No, sorry, User Interface. Forget that. Right, let's start again. I'm gonna go to Settings, User Interface, and we're gonna change it to RGUI. But just so you know what the others look like, I'll just show you what GUI looks like. So I go to main menu, and near the bottom, configuration file, save current configuration, back onto the very bottom of the main menu, quit. Restart RetroArch. Make sure you start the same version, 64-bit. Now on GUI you can see the appearance of it. We've got main menu, but again configuration files near the bottom to save it, and quit's near the bottom of that. And then if we look at the bottom of GUI, we've got main menu here, and I can move right on the D-pad to playlists, and right again to settings. User interface, move down, and it's on GUI. And again, we'd want to change it to RGUI, but let's just see what XMB looks like. So back out. I want to go back to the main menu, so I'm moving left on the D-pad to the main menu. And then near the bottom, configuration file, save current configuration, back out, bottom of main menu, quit. Restart RetroArch-64. Now this is main menu here, so again near the bottom, configuration file. But before we save that, we move right using the D-pad to settings. So it says settings up there. User interface, move down, and it's on XMB, and we want RGUI. This time we'll come back and use RGUI. So main menu, and it's remembered where I left off, so that's how that menu is, but it does remember where you are on it if it looks unfamiliar. So configuration file off, again just double check that's the main menu. Configuration file, save current configuration, back out, quit, restart it. Now we can have a look to see what our screen resolution is on this device. Now from the main menu, this time settings is on the main menu, as you can see. It's not a separate top menu. And you'll notice there's no quick menu because we haven't got to this menu via the game. So there's no quick menu available anymore. So we want settings. No, we are on the correct user interface. But when we're all done, if you want to change it back to the other ones, there it is, user interface. You just choose that the same. There it is. And you can change it to whichever one you want. And all of the menus you can use left, right on the D-pad to change it, or you can select it and then choose it from the list. So we want to go to video now so we can see what the screen resolution is. Scaling, aspect ratio, and you may not be able to see it. Yours could be anything. Who knows what yours is going to be? And when we're all done, we're going to leave it on core provided. But for now, we'll choose custom. We don't need to change XY position at the moment. But it's not impossible that when you come to this, it's not centralized, or sorry, it's not zeroed. Now you can either change the positions using the D-pad, or you can select it and type it in. So for example, I could type 640. That symbol is carriage return, that's to enter it. And now, I made a big mistake. By the way, this is on purpose, so to illustrate. Now, I happen to be on the setting I've really messed up and taken it off screen, so I can just slide it back with the D-pad. But if I'd lost control completely, or it had gone off screen completely and I can't see what I'm doing, well, don't panic. What you want to do is press B to go back, B to go back, B to go back, quit. And I didn't save configuration file, so if I start that now, it'll be as we last left it because I didn't save. So let's go back to settings, video, scaling, aspect ratio, custom, and then what we can do is play around. Once we've set the X and Y positions to 0, we can play around with the width using the D-pad and the height until it fills the screen. And if you just look carefully, we can see if it's making any difference or not when we press the button. And now, yeah, we've verified we have a 720 by 720 screen. Now, that may have messed up some games, so just go to aspect ratio, choose core provided, back out, back out, back out to the main menu, and as usual near the bottom, configuration, save current configuration, and then all our games will run at the correct aspect ratio. And obviously, if you want to, you can put your menu back as it was under the user interface there, if you preferred XMB or whatever. And that's that. Now, quickly, it's pretty much the same. I'm in a game, so let's quit out the game. And I want to run RetroArch by itself, which on this device, this is an Android device, the K56, that's here. But there's one difference. There's no need to save configuration file. If you make a change and you don't save it, it will save it for you. So just be aware of that. If you really mess up your custom configuration and put in something crazy, like if I put in or a crazy XY position, if you just back out and quit, it saved it for you whether you wanted it to or not, so just be aware of that. See, it saved that unwanted offset. So I'm just leaving it as core provided and all is well. Now, this K56 has a panel, and it's 1280 by 720. Now this machine's only been out for a few months, but they've already released a machine that is a 1080p panel, so it's 1960 by 1080p, and I want to verify that. So that's why I ended up discovering you need a method to check your screen resolution, and thought, well, that might be useful for somebody else. So this machine it's supposed to be 1080p, so let's verify that. And we can see, yes, it is 1960 by 1080. So, I've verified that the new K56 do indeed ship with 1080p panels. And it may not be that apparent in the camera, but the colours are that much deeper and sharp. It is a nicer screen. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the original, but the new 1080p panel is awesome. So I just want to make sure that I leave the aspect ratio as core provided. Back out, because it's going to save it automatically on this device. But most devices like that, RGB30, it won't save it automatically. You must remember to save current configuration before you quit out. And on the K56, it'll auto-save. There we go, that's how you check your screen panel resolution using RetroArch. Thanks for watching. Bye.